This is Jamie Wyman-Tyler. I'm here with attorney Justin Weiner, and you have been involved in a pretty interesting case recently involving a bus driver and an injured child, and also a child that was killed at a railroad crossing, right?
Yes.
And so, and he has been no-billed, I guess.
Yes. Essentially what happened was the Assistant Attorney General that was prosecuting this case gathered some additional information. A lot of it came from us as well, and ultimately presented it to a new grand jury. And that grand jury, based on the totality of the circumstances and all the evidence that they have been given, decided not to indict him, basically alleviating him of criminal charges. Because of that, the Assistant Attorney General then filed motions to dismiss on his two pending indictments in Henderson County.
Okay, all right. And this, I guess, happened in November. Yeah, all charges are dropped. And I guess you guys have, there was some video on the train from Union Pacific, you were saying, that showed that he had come to a complete stop, right?
Yes, and I think ultimately some of the things that were strongly considered, again, everything said to a grand jury is confidential, and obviously I'm not privy to that. But the things that were important to us that we found out through the duration of the case were the speed of the train itself, that it was speeding in violation of the municipal ordinance as it entered the city, not necessarily at the time of impact, but and that's a big deal with trains. It impacts their braking, it impacts their horning. In addition to that, the FRA, the Federal Railroad Administration, does a crash prediction rating, and of all 53 crossings there in Henderson County, that crossing in particular is rated the most dangerous. There's also been an accident at that crossing since this accident. And so I think those were factors, hopefully that the grand jury relied on when deciding that John shouldn't be prosecuted anymore.
So I guess, of course, a question has come up of crossing arms or some kind of signal lights, because there isn't any of that there right now, right?
Well, we certainly think there needs to be more. There are no, crossing arms, so to speak. And at the end of the day, the federal filings that are required that are done by Union Pacific up until as recent as September of this year still don't list that crossing as a bus route, which is unconscionable in our opinion. And it's important because at the end of the day, all of those factors, whether it's a bus route, how many cars go through that crossing each day, all those things are calculated into what's called a hazard index. And based on that hazard index, it predicts what kind of safeguards need to be in place. And so, you've got, armed crossing protectors in other crossings in Henderson County, which statistically by the FRA are less dangerous.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully, I guess this will help to bring some closure to all those involved, right?
I mean, that's our most sincere hope. This was a terribly tragic accident, and because the criminal case is now done and over with, we are very much hoping that the families involved, that John, the first responders, everybody that's been impacted by this case can move forward, find some closure, and hopefully find some peace.
All right, good deal. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for yours. Appreciate it. We'll have more later on KLTV 7 News and KLTV.com.